Mission Global Media Group. I'm your host, Destiny Bell.
And I'm Jalyn, Hinton.
Today we have a great show with beautiful young ladies here today. Look at how underdressed we are. We didn't get the memo that we were supposed to come in Sasha Fierce, but they brought it today. So we will be talking about overcoming fear and having faith to pursue your dreams. I think that's what the world needs right now.
No,
Can't you
definitely,
agree?
especially the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our guests today will share their stories and let us know how they got where they are today by trusting God and not letting fear stop them from living their best lives.
So first, I want to introduce Miss Shira Whitfield, lady in the teal, looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
She is the CEO and owner of a successful fashion business called Chapter 33 Boutique. It is online, but y'all know we are about to be worldwide, about to have our own store, all that.
And we also have Gabby here today. Gabby is from Gabby is from Richmond. She is Miss Maryland. Look at that beautiful, beautiful crown. She is an athlete, a successful entrepreneur, and a native from Chicago, Illinois. So
Yes.
Give it up for Miss Gabby.
I'm from Hartford County, though.
Oh.
Yeah, so I live in Hartford County. I'm from Chicago. My last name is Richmond.
Okay.
There we go.
A little nervous.
That's all right.
So before we get into the topic, I would like to give you guys the opportunity to express a little bit more about yourself. Tell us your story, just so that our viewers can get acquainted with you guys.
Okay. So as mentioned, my name is Shira Whitfield, born and raised Baltimore, Maryland. Growing up, I've always been into fashion. I just didn't quite know that was my passion yet. But throughout the years, it just elevated inside of me till it got to a place where it just was like, this is something that you need to do. Anyone that knows me as always together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, why not go ahead and pursue your passion? I'm very transparent in my journey and in my stories. I always share each and everything with, I call it social media, my family, letting them know I basically started from the bottom. I have 2 pages on my personal page. I do the same thing as well in my journey. So I'm just, just here to let everybody know, it can be done, without the education behind it and things like that.
Yes, that's what we need.
Okay. And Miss Gabby, can you tell us a little more about yourself?
Absolutely. So, as said, I'm originally from Chicago. I've been in Maryland for about 3 years now. I actually moved out here to receive a position with the Army. I was a technical writer, 9-to-5er. This past February, I actually decided to resign to chase my dreams. When I came out here, I also had a photography business, which turned into a production company now, where I run with my partner. So I do that full time along with modeling, and the pageant world is actually really new to me. But I can share more about that journey as well. But it was definitely a fear over faith ordeal for me, and I believe that once I resigned, God granted me what I wanted, and He just wowed me with my journey. And He's a huge part of who I am and what I'm doing today. It's definitely a result of not letting fear stop me. Trusting it up.
Thank you both. I think that y'all gave some transparent answers that we needed. I think that because of social media, it's easy to see the good and the glitters and the gold of people's path to success, or you don't even see the path most times. You just see the success path.
The end result.
So for y'all to give us some transparent and vulnerable answers, I really do appreciate that. But I do have a question. Could you give an example of maybe a hurdle that you've overcome in achieving this point that you're in your life right now? What have you had to overcome?
For me, it was a matter of getting what people thought of me out of the picture, because a lot of times that'll hold you back because you're unsure of what people are going to think, when in reality you shouldn't really care of what people think. So I believe to a certain extent, because it will definitely hold you back, because it's just like, you want to get this opinion of me, but who are you? You know what I'm saying? This is my path, this is my journey, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, even if I fail, allow me to do that, so that the worst you can do is fail. So it's like, let me climb back up. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your opinion, but this is my journey. You know what I'm saying? So that was probably one of my biggest hurdles in this career change that I chose to make. It's just to get the outside noise out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, on the modeling or pageant side, it was learning how to walk in heels.
Oh.
So, also about me, I'm a basketball player. I went to St. Bonaventure full ride scholarship. I'm an athlete at heart. I'm a super athlete at heart. Did bodybuilding competitions. So for me, transitioning from not only modeling to pageantry, but runway and walking in heels and presence and posture was new for me. But I had a coach and I learned that I could do it. It was one of those things in the back of my head, not only what other people were saying about me, but what I was saying about myself. I was like, I can never walk in heels. I can never learn how to do that. And I was like, wow, I really can do that. So
And excel.
excel, right?
Very well.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I know you kind of got into a little bit like how you transitioned into the modeling world, but can you go into depth the journey onto your entrepreneurship? Because you are a business owner, you have your production company, and I know in your bio you mentioned something about IVF. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so like I said, I started doing photography back in Chicago maybe about 4 years ago, and it was just a side hustle. I had just graduated from college, and I was living with my dad, and he was kind of like, you need a real job, you know? So it's one of those things also where I'm going to digress just a little bit, just to speak to people listening. People around you may not necessarily see your vision or see what the vision God has given you, but even if it's not making money at the moment, or maybe it's not what you would like it to look like, you just have to keep going. So in the background of me, pursuing a stable job, getting a 9-to-5, I never let photography go. I did let modeling go a little bit because I was so intrigued with photography. But just this past year, I decided that I wanted to start pursuing modeling again. So I had started modeling for a bridal shop, Adele's Bridal Boutique in Havertys Grace, Maryland. And I would just show up all summer. I would do it for free. I would just show up, model the gowns, and I was building my portfolio. And then, that turned into me winning one bridal competition. And then one of the co-hosts happened to be Mrs. Maryland 2021. And she stopped me afterwards and she asked me about, was I interested in doing pageantry? I was kind of like, no. But why not, right? Like, why not? God says stay open-minded. So I was like, whatever, let's try it. So that transitioned to where I am now. As far as IVF goes, I have big plans. I'm really passionate. Even before I entered into the pageant world, I was really passionate about women being able to conceive. I'm a birth photographer as well, and I shoot maternity and newborn. So I don't know what it is about babies. I don't have any, but I'm like obsessed with the topic. So I decided that I want to start a nonprofit surrounding helping women on their journey holistically to conceiving. And with one solution being IVF. I don't know if people know what IVF is, but it's pretty much taking the egg and the sperm and pretty much going into the lab and putting it together with the back end in the uterus, which is very costly. So it costs anywhere starting between $10,000 to $20,000, and it's not even a guarantee that it'll work. So I want to help women who decide to take that route. I want to support them financially in that.
That's so nice. I love that. And you mentioned something about people not always seeing your journey. So for you, Shy, and for you, did you have like a struggle with low support? And if so, how did you keep going in life?
Honestly, I'm not gonna say that the support was low. To piggyback off what you were saying, like it was the outside noise, but it was also me internally too. Fighting with it, because again, it's just like I feel like fear to me is just like a feeling of the unknown or what's going to happen next. So that's kind of like what was my struggle, because it was just like, okay, once I go live and once I actually put this out, how are people going to receive this? Like, is people really going to purchase this stuff? Like, how do people really feel about it or whatever? So my struggles also they mainly weren't outside; they were inside too, which caused me to go on a spiritual journey, because I had to find more of myself. Because it's just like, why are you fearing this? I have your back. This is God's voice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it was a lot of internal and external things that was causing me to stop, or not stop, keeping me from pursuing my original goals at first, for sure.
I know that for me, I can be the worst critic of
Yourself.
myself. And I think that
Being
is something
too hard.
that we all have.
Yeah.
Because you have to realize perfection does not exist. And I say that all the time. And it's easier said than done to come to that realization. And it's something that you really have to battle with when you realize you can't reach that peak of perfection. But then, like, being imperfect is the best way for yourself.
Yeah,
And
I get that so much.
I had to come to that realization.
Or just being so much more into the moment. Like sometimes we project ourselves too far in the future and we're not really looking at what's happening around us and the blessings that are actually going on around us. Like I would be so hard on myself when I first launched, when I wouldn't get a like on the picture or sales wasn't up to where I wanted them to be, but not being appreciative of somebody actually taking time out to look at my picture and to actually like it, or just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't done, because I will always get DMs like, you still got this in stock, you still got this in stock. But because it wasn't showing proof in the like aspect of it, it was me being hard on myself, like this ain't it, this is not working, you know what I'm saying?
I think we're just so used to the new age and having, oh, this person's famous from TikTok. She goes viral. She gets 1 million likes. She has how many subscribers?
Absolutely.
And it's easy to get caught up in the new normal.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's probably hard to deal with. I don't have a business, but I do have like an Instagram page for my personal radio show.
Right.
And I don't get that much attention. But then I'll get text messages from someone like, oh, I really love that you played this song or this topic. And
Exactly.
I think those little people are like my mom, the supporters that you least expect keep you going. So who are some supporters that keep you going?
I would definitely say the guy behind the camera over here that nobody sees, but is definitely my partner. He's definitely been one of those people. Like even I can date back to when I decided I was going to actually do the pageant for Miss Maryland America. The pageant was actually only 2.5 weeks away. So when I was speaking with the director, she was like, I understand if you don't want to do it because it's so soon, but you should at least just come out and check out the pageant. And he was in the background. Okay, I'll do it. So definitely my partner, definitely my parents. They are amazing. My dad is to this day right now, like literally sharing my GoFundMe with everybody. So my dad has raised about $1,500 for me already. My mom is she's an actor. My siblings act, so she's keeping me focused on my initial dream, which was to be a model, a paid model. So she's helping me seek representation right now. So I just have so many friends and family in Maryland as well. Paige and Malcolm, they're realtors. That's actually how I heard about the show, because I was at their house and I was talking to Sean Trey. But yeah, I have some great supporters in Maryland and Chicago.
My family is like my day one. That's my mom. She right hand high for me, and it's very much so my intermediate family. Of course, they're going to be there for me, and then a lot of my supporters are from people I don't know. I've gained a lot of friends from people that I don't know that's just like been interested in what I have. So it a lot of my sales and things like that has come from people that I don't know. So I have to shout them out because it's just like, thank you for seeing something in me, or you know what I'm saying. But other than that, my mom and my sister plays a big part in my fashion world because she was my first fashion icon. We are little gaps, so she's a lot older than me. However, growing up, like she was everything to me. She was my Joan from Girlfriend. That's how she was. It was her patterns, it was her colors, it was just how, and it was her confidence alone. Like when she stepped in the room, she owned it. So I kind of like bodied that from her. And shout out to my sister. But yeah, she and so when she likes things for me, or when she prays things for me, it's almost like it's like the president. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my gosh, you know, because it was such. She was my icon growing up. So
that's beautiful.
So she was a mentor to you.
But she didn't know it because we were so young. So it was just like how I looked up to her. She didn't know it, but it was like growing in me. But it was just like years later, now we can talk about the fashion world, but she didn't know who she was to me growing up.
Was there someone currently who you would consider a mentor or someone to go to as far as business advice, or what should I do if I'm facing this internal fear?
I have a few people online that are in the same industry. My sister as well, she's very business oriented, so I go to her for a lot of advice and just the support alone. Like she has kept me grounded in so many ways, just like to keep going, especially in the beginning when you think you're gonna wake up rich and that's just not the answer. You know what I mean? So it's just like, she has been one of my number one supporters in that aspect too. And the few people that I have that are in the same business that I am that I go to. Keep me grounded and what to do in this industry and stuff like that.
I know for me, I'm keen on like supporting, and everyone has their own way that they show love and their own way that they show support.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that I think a big problem that we all might not notice is jealousy within friend groups, and some friends are really not your friends. So since you both embarked on a new journey in your lives, did you have to like cut people off to make it further in your career goals, or what was that process like?
I'm not going to say I had to cut people off, but I had to get stronger with it myself, because you definitely have to get stronger with little things, such as saying like no and not explaining why I'm saying no behind it. But as far as like people that I had to cut off, I don't really believe I had to cut anyone off, but I did have to get stronger within myself, because when you become your own boss, like it opens up a new gate inside of you, like mentality, how you answer things, how you perceive things, and how like you want things done orderly and things like that. So I didn't really have to cut anybody off. I don't have like the jealousy aspect. I'm really, really cool. Like anybody knows me and was to come to you and say Shara, they're gonna say she cool as a fan. So I've never really had a situation where I had to, I'm very verbal with my friends and things like that. So I communicate well enough. Yeah.
What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I had to cut anybody off. I think that God does everything for you. Like I don't have to know if somebody gravitated out of my life, is because it just happened that way naturally.
Yeah.
But I will say I've had a higher level of discernment with who's around me and why they're around me. And I've noticed people who are here now, but they weren't here when I was in Miss Maryland. I do notice, I take note in the back of my head. And I'm like, But yeah.
I agree with that, because I feel like people feel like when your business is successful, they all of a sudden want to jump on a bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Like, but where would you know what I'm saying? So I do agree with that. Yeah. I understand that.
I agree too. See, we were talking before we got here that everyone is not your friend. And people might think, because like I met you today, and then when I see you a week from now, oh, that's my friend. She's Miss Maryland. What? Don't let nobody call you their friend just because of your status. And that's the problem that we have, especially with people, I think, in my generation. Everybody want to be famous and stuff.
Real quick.
Nobody wants to work for it.
It's the cloud.
All right, so what tips do you have for people trying to join either industry and just keeping their head held high? What tips can we give the viewers?
Consistency is key. No matter what. Like I said before, like I thought when I was going to pursue this industry, like I was going to wake up and just all my problems would be gone, but that's just not it. You know what I'm saying? Like you do have to do your research. You know what I'm saying? You do have to see what's popping and what's not popping and things like that. So like you have to stay consistency, because to be honest, it's been times where I wanted to throw that flag. Like it's not it. This is, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like you have to stay consistent. You have to be strong-minded. You have to be open-minded, and you have to understand that everybody's not going to like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But keep on going, because every time you get a no, you're always going to get a yes somewhere, even if it's that one yes. You know what I'm saying? So just keep pushing. Keep pushing.
I love that. Everything she said. Plus, I think one of the biggest things and a big reason why I guess I'm successful in my own right is I've always believed in myself. Even when I didn't know every technicality of photography, even when I wasn't, I didn't have all the likes, I always believed that I had something in me. I'm like, I like my work, I'll learn, I'll figure it out. I think also people think that they have to figure it all out right now. You're not going to know everything right now, and it's okay. It's a journey. It's all a part of the journey. So I think that just kind of relaxing and having some faith that it will work out plays a huge part, because people they overthink. we procrastinate, we worry, we self-doubt, and that all kind of ties into trying to figure it out right now. So I'm kind of like, just start, and God will send the provision that you need, whether it's financially, resources, the energy today. God give me energy today to wake up, or just the courage to call that client back who's emailing me, talking, saying crazy things, just the tenacity. So.
Yes, thank you.
Well, when was the last time you guys felt fear in relation to your business?
Fearless.
I realize
I'm always fearful when I'm releasing something, to be honest, because I just don't know. I may be in love with it head over heels, which I'm going to always be in love with it, but that doesn't mean you guys are going to be the same way. So
Right.
if it's not perceived the same way, guess what it's going to do? It's going to sit. So with that being said, I'm always fearful, and I'm working on that when I'm ready to release a new item or new arrivals and things like that. Because it's just like, okay, we got this batch out the way, we got this new batch. So it's just like, how would they want to take it? So that's still a fear that I deal with currently in my business.
I think a fear that I deal with is saying no and being okay with it. So if we charge this for a service, being okay with walking away if we don't want to be in the middle because this is what we charge.
Mm-hmm.
And being okay with saying no, because sometimes it's still hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I do want to know, because I did Barbizon. Do you know what Barbizon is? It was like a modeling agency.
Yeah, actually, somebody brought that up to me yesterday. She said I used to do Barbizon.
I used to do Barbizon, but I didn't think that I had what it took to be like a real pageant girl like that. So do you feel like, well, what's your personality like, first of all? Are you introverted or extroverted?
Definitely extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you can be yourself as Miss
That's
Marilyn?
a great question.
Because I don't know if I would be able to like.
That's a great question. I was actually talking to someone yesterday and who knew me before Miss Marilyn, and he was like, when I look at your social media, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Pageant Gabby. Like, it's Pageant Gabby. He was like, how are you? Like, how are you doing? I'm like, well, it's great because I feel like it's teaching me to adapt,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we get comfortable being who we are, and even as it relates to posture, I think naturally I would just like slip.
Oh man,
I like, let me sit up.
I guess it's just making me more conscious of how I'm perceived. I've been told in my past I have a resting face, so I try to be more inviting and conscious because I do hold this new responsibility. When these little girls see me, I have a crown on now, I have a sash, so when they look up to you. So I just want to make sure that I'm being inviting, like I said, and being, you for the community. So I think it's taught me how to be more personable, and not concerned with how I feel. And I just don't feel like doing this today. It's like, no, but you have a responsibility. And I think it's definitely stretched me. And I think anybody could learn to adapt. You just have to be open-minded and not be constrained to who you think you are or who you were or what people have always known you to be.
So you have to give yourself room to like evolve.
Yes.
Literally. So,
yes.
As a business owner yourself, do you feel like, because you have a personal Instagram page and then you have an Instagram page for your business, do you feel like you have to put up a facade when it's business shy, or is business shy kind of like the shy I can meet over west? Like,
business shy.
She from over west.
I really feel like, to be honest, like I'm just me. So It's just like, you'll get the more transparent side on my personal page because I speak on my life. So my business page, I do the same thing. I just speak on the business side of it. But you won't get me. You won't get the dramatics. You won't get the drama. You won't get all that. That's just how I am. So yeah, I don't really think I separate the two. Unless when it's called to be professional. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, you want to get what you say.
So where do you both find the time to have fun outside of your busy careers? I'll make room for that, right?
Well, yeah, I'm probably not as busy as you are, but like, I have to wear what I promote, so I'm always out. You know what I'm saying? At the scenes, at the lounges, and things like that. So I have to be on the scene in order to be seen. So I had fun. I make time. I dedicate Sundays. Like I try not to do anything on Sundays. Like Sundays is just like a rest day, you know. So I won't post. I won't do anything. That's just my day of like regrouping. So yeah.
I do have fun as well. My fun just looks different at times. Like sometimes fun for me is hanging out at the house because sometimes I do need to recharge and I can be in my sweats. I can listen to whatever music I want, wake up when I want. So sometimes that's fun to me. But I think another way I make sure that I have fun is I take birthdays serious. So if it's somebody's birthday or an event, and then I can plan it out properly. Is like, all right, from this time to this time, I have a shoot or I have Miss Maryland business from 7 on. Like I'm having fun with my friends.
But
Go ahead.
You're fine. Because you both beautiful women, dressed to the nines, do you feel pressure to always be presentable? I know for you, like you said, you have to be seen on the scene, and you as Miss Maryland, I'm sure you have to look like this. Does it feel like a lot of pressure?
I don't, because like I said, I'm me, so I feel like if I'm not always to the nines. Sometimes you might catch me in that sweatshirt and that hoodie, and sometimes I might not have a wig on my head. Okay, let's be honest. But like I'm just me, so I feel like you know how I look when I'm together. So
Right.
It's like that's how I am off guard. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't feel like that. I don't feel like I got to be a certain way all the time unless it's something that I need to give.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I have an event or an appearance, yes, I do. But if I'm going to Walmart or Lidl, look, I'm definitely what you see is what you get. And yeah, in my head, I'm Gabby, so I wear what I want to wear to Walmart. But if I have to show up to an event or appearance, then I definitely try to put my best foot forward.
Mm-hmm. That's cool for sure. So what do you do with the rest of your dresses? Because I feel like I don't think I see celebrities in the same formal gown more than once, and it's giving you very much celebrity. So, what do you do with that?
Well, I'm not at that status where I can only wear a dress once.
Mm-hmm.
So I've definitely worn this in a photo shoot, and you might see me in it in 2 weeks. I don't know, but I've been blessed to have some dress sponsors. So K&B Bridals they sponsored this dress. Adele's Bridal Boutique and Happy Grace, they sponsor many dresses for me. So it's just a balance. Like sometimes I will like go and buy a dress if I have to, but the goal is to partner with gown shops and get sponsored.
Yeah. So sorry, I just had another question. Because on Instagram, y'all know people say if you wear it and take pictures in it, don't wear it again.
Oh please.
Oh, so you're.
Oh yeah, I'm a repeat offender.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I have to because I'll post on my business page. That's just what is out.
Yeah.
So then when I'm wearing it, I have to post it on like my regular page. But even still, like I'll wear it again. You know, they don't know about your product if you don't wear it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely a repeat offender.
Well, if she says it, then whatever.
I like the repeat outfits. Some outfits just make you feel so good. Like I have to do it again.
You can change the hairstyle.
Yeah.
You can change the shoes. You can dress it up. differently.
Exactly.
Because who is paying that much attention? Oh my gosh, I saw her wear that
Haters.
last
But you
Tuesday.
got the bots that do it.
Yeah. Some haters.
For
Oh,
real.
so how do you guys handle the haters? Because I know y'all both probably have quite a few.
To be honest, I don't. I haven't had any negative association with me or my business.
At least
that I've
outwardly.
seen. Yeah, that I've seen.
You know
You
what I mean?
too?
No, at least like
With your
people
business.
don't.
Say it to you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't tell you. That's not wise, right?
That's not smart.
That's not smart. So, no, I haven't had anybody just outwardly just hate or.
Mhm.
Not even in pageant world.
Mm.
Because I know the girls can be a little.
No.
Okay.
Again, not outwardly, but I do want to shout out my sister Queen Megan, Miss Megan Myers. She is running for Mrs. American. One of the greatest things I've learned about being in the pageant world that some people may think is superficial, or like you just said, you know, you just assume that the girls can be jealous or catty, but I haven't necessarily had that experience. I've had the authentic experience where I feel like I've met girls that even beyond this pageant will be friends for life. So my sister Queen Megan Hannon, I know you're watching.
Oh, so it's similar to like Miss Congeniality.
Somewhat.
Seen it?
It's a sisterhood.
Yeah, but definitely your sisterhood. Yeah.
That's
Well, could you guys give a little bit of? We're gonna move on to the fashion segment, so I guess we can start with like, what fashion tips could you give some of our viewers?
Megan said something to you, girl. Love you forever. Megan.
Yes.
I would say, as far as tips, like when it comes to fashion, I'm a strong believer of like fashion is an expression of yourself. I don't believe honestly in the do's and don'ts like that, because what you feel like is a do, somebody feels like it's a don't, and vice versa. However, I just feel like being yourself. Like I think I mentioned in my bio, like my high school years was where I was the most fearless with my fashion. Like you couldn't tell me. I mean, some days like I literally woke up, jumped out of the bed, and went to school. But everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, only you can pull it off." You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like in the fashion industry, like regardless of what they say, because the fashion world has a big foot in creating low self-esteem and stuff like that, because you're not what you're supposed to look like. So I feel like, do you in the fashion world, like if it makes you feel good, wear it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm not a big fan of the do's and don'ts. I do know what's trending, but I'm just not a fan of the do's and don'ts. Do you is my go-to. Make it work.
I won't sit here and act like I'm a fashion. But you know, I do the best I can, and I read this book titled "Who Not How." So oftentimes I try to relate back to the book. If I don't know something, I just ask. I'll ask my fashion friend, or I'll ask, I'll text the group chat. Is this cute? Like, what do y'all think? So I just kind of depend on the people around me, because that's not my level of my expertise, so I really don't care for real. I don't really care about fashion. But I just ask people around me.
Someone just asked a question for you all, and it says, "How do you overcome the fear of the unknown?"
You just gotta do it.
Just jump in
You
it.
just have to, because like I said before, the worst you can do is fail. So it's like failing is the lesson, because you know how you got there, so you know how to not get there again. Only way from here is up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the biggest issue with fear, like you just gotta do it. You have to do it.
No matter what.
It's gonna eat you up inside, or it's gonna affect you some other type way in your life. Like especially if God wants you to do it, like you're gonna have to do it. So you just gotta take a step of faith. Take a step of faith. I'm sorry. Just do it.
To piggyback on Sean, I think that just expecting to be uncomfortable or expecting to be scared, and then knowing that even with that feeling, I still have to do it. Even with not knowing everything, like I was saying earlier, I'm still going to go. I'm still going to show up. And then also, even bigger than that, your faith, your foundation is so important. So I think just spending that, whether you meditate, whether you pray, whether you read your Bible, like whatever it is that keeps you lifted, I think that is a big part too. Like what is fueling your spirit? What is fueling your spirit as far as, because that's what will show up. And if you're filling your spirit with energy, and you have good vibes and good people around you, more than likely you don't even have time to be concerned, because you believe like it's gonna happen so much that you don't even really feel those feelings too much. And if they're there, you don't really give any energy to it as much.
And I think before we transition to the fashion segment of it, I would like to reference this verse. It says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." That is Deuteronomy 31:6. So now we can transition into you showing us your beautiful clothes.
Okay, no
We
problem.
want to show them, so maybe we can move. How would you prefer to do this? We can move this way.
We good?
Okay. You can hand me the piece and I'll show the camera.
Okay.
All right.
So I have brought a few of my pieces in here today. What's trending right now is a lot of neon colors. A lot of monochromatic looks are definitely trending.
Can you explain that to them?
Okay, so so monochromatic is, for instance, like a green on green. It could be a green snake. It could be a green zebra print at the bottom. It could be straight green. Anything. It's just the same color on top of each other. That's what monochromatic is. Also, like I like to call them like your feel good colors. So for instance, I have these trousers. I love these trousers.
Those are cute.
Very wide leg.
Look at wide leg.
Yep. Come on, so you want to get it on.
Yes, these are
So with those,
cute.
for instance, I would definitely pair like a nice,
Look at your top right now.
a nice,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So
cute.
this is like I would say like the work wear. Okay, so we're gonna wear something like this, but then this is ties up. With that. I love pink and orange together. I definitely love pink and orange together. You can also pair with like a nice neon top. I'm very dramatic on the
I need to
sleeves.
get up and be involved.
I know, should we all
Come on,
just-
let's pass out.
So thank you, I appreciate it.
Pass it down the line.
I also have
Yes.
this neon top. So for those people that feel like they're not very much into like fashion, like if you just have pieces, like dramatic pieces, for instance, that'll take your look up to another level. Or like some jeans, some destroyed jeans with that, a nice heel or a nice slide
Mhm.
for that as well, a nice sandal or a nice heel that take you in the daytime.
Yeah, my
And
sandals
then
are
you
right
can switch
now.
it up with a blouse like this with those pants. You happy hour because my boss been stressing me out, things like that. Okay. Or you can
Yes,
also
ma'am.
keep it sleek with a top like this.
Yeah, this is cute.
Someone
some
says
heels.
it's wide
Oh, wait.
It's wide leg pants
Mhm.
to trend now.
Yes, they are very much,
Very much so.
very much so. Yeah. The wider, the better. Okay,
The
and we
wider,
love it
the
to go
better.
over the heel as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Still a shot.
Just the piece that goes with it. What's also trending is straps. Like a lot of strappy.
I like the
is
strappy
very,
pant
very.
line.
So this is not really showing how this strap, but this is coming together in the front or
Mhm.
whatever. So this like I call this my night for my night girls.
My
Feel like it turn it up. Okay, and mesh and
Stand out in the
see-through.
club.
Yes, mesh and see-through is also trending. You know, the less is better with the young girls. It seems like, but you always
Less is
want
more.
Yes.
less is more. Okay,
Less is more.
you always want to have a nice black trending piece in your closet. Black dress is always a staple that's needed in your closet. You just never know when you're gonna need it. So this one I decided to bring. This it has mesh in the front, mesh sleeves, it ties on the side, and it's also backless.
Someone said, what is the proper length for wide leg trousers?
What is the proper length? I would say it all depends on your height. Because for instance, these ones that I have, I'm only 5'4", so I'm average about a 4-inch heel, and they still want to hit the ground. So that's about 36 inches in the inseam. So if you like it to wear heels with it, I would say anywhere between like 32, 36, depending on your heel height.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is real cute.
Yeah, so that comes in, that drapes in the front.
That's
My
really daddy.
No, seriously. So my tagline is where the confident woman shops because I want women to feel good in everything that they wear. You know, no matter your shape or size. My curvy chicks, I call them like we show thighs, we show legs, we show cleavage, we show all that. Because why not?
That's right.
The woman's body is a work of art, so it's just like show that thing off. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to always have this figure for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? So just wear it. You know what I'm saying? And stop saving your pieces for needing to have to go somewhere. Like, oh, I got to find somewhere to go. Wear it.
Yeah,
Just
go to
wear it.
lunch.
Wear it.
And
you know
then
what I'm
wear it
saying?
again when you
And
find
then
somewhere to
wear
go.
it again.
Wear it
Okay?
again.
Yes, wear it again.
Beyonce said, if you got it, flaunt it. Check
Um,
on it.
so these last pieces I have, prints are also trending right now. Like feel good colors. You guys follow Tabitha Brown?
Oh,
Yes.
I love me some
Yes.
Tabitha Brown. She so like she has me on this whole wave with like prints and things like that. So like this is a vacation dress.
that's a cute
Definitely
sundress,
Like,
Aruba.
yes, backless. Yeah, I can really give it that. And this is
Oh, it feels amazing.
so this one, a lot of my pieces are also versatile when it comes to like, because I'm 34. So with that being said, I don't always want to hold my stomach in, okay? So a lot of my pieces have ruching in the front and on the side and things like that to help cover that
I
in.
love
Because we want to be
rouge.
cute. We can still be cute and comfortable. And this is a day to night dress. So we at work, we tie it. This comes up, okay? This comes up.
really like that.
No, it's a dress. It comes up, so it goes from here to about right
Oh,
here.
it's
We ready.
long.
We ready. Yeah. So a lot
We
of my
can go to
pieces.
brunch and then go to the club.
That's
Yes.
it. You know what I'm saying? So
Same fit.
we have a lot of pieces like that, and this is just another summer piece I just wanted to bring because of the colors. Very colorful. Yeah. So
We're gonna
this
talk
is
later.
definitely okay. So yeah. So just keep in mind what's trending. Like, do what you feel, and if it makes you feel good, you know, you don't have to worry about what social media things and stuff like that. But if you want to know what's trending, of course, like the neon is trending very much. Your mesh, your monochromatic, and that's just where you put your two of the same colors on top of each other, like the pink pants with a nice pink blouse. That's monochromatic, things like that. And trousers, our legs are already trending.
Someone did ask for trends for curvier women. Like, what are
So again, like I feel like the same applies for curvy women. Just make sure I feel like with curvy women, you know, you want to show your physique, so you want to have that ruching, you want to have that ruching in the front and things like that. But I feel like they can wear the same thing. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing applies with the curvy women. Do you? That makes you feel good. Do you? You know what I'm saying? I don't like stripes on curvy women.
okay?
I don't like stripes. I think it makes it look wider.
Yeah.
However, there's a certain way you got to wear your stripes. You don't want to overdo your stripes. That's probably the
And
only
maybe
negative
a top
thing.
with us.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But as far as curvy women, like, do your thing. You know what
Yes. Yes, make sure y'all check her out. She is online, but like we said, we are going to be bigger and we're going to be better. We are going to evolve.
Yes,
Manifesting a storefront.
Y'all see
Yes,
it now.
yes. So I actually, my backstory, I launched in June. I was going to do a whole scene, and I had clothes and everything.
Mhm.
However, I was scared to come out, so I didn't come out. And I had a homeboy, he was doing like pop-up shops. So he just like, come on, just bring your things. And I'm just like, I'm like, why have these earrings? Let me just bring these earrings.
Yeah, those
Earrings
cute.
did well. So
Very
these are also
cute.
online. We have
Beautiful.
statement earrings as well. I did well with the statement earrings, but then my sister, my big sister, when I talked about earlier, she was like, "You're bigger than this. Like, come on, like you can do this." And that's when I relaunched in January with the apparel side. So we're back on the apparel side. As of this year, doing very well, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in the storefront too.
Now, one of my closest friends, she actually wants to start like having her own boutique.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the process like with finding vendors? Because I don't want, like, your stuff doesn't look like no Tino Shade Shein material. You know, it looks a little bit better than that. So how hard was it finding good quality?
It's definitely a lot of investigation you have to do, and a lot of my vendors I did find out through people. So some people let you in, and some people real stingy. Like, you can't have my vendors because you might come out with what I have. But it is a lot of personal investigation. Google was my best friend, and again, I have a friend who has a lot of vendors too. So. You definitely, when it comes to vendors, you definitely got to do your own investigation. You want to do your own investigation anyway, because again, some vendors I've gotten things and it was just like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? So you do have to do your own investigation when it comes to vendors.
So I guess for both, could you say that for both of you, is it still matters of who you know, not what you know? Because they say that a lot, especially for the field that I want to be in, and networking.
It's key. I think it plays a part in both. It's definitely who you know. You know what I'm saying? Because they can help elevate you and get your foot in the door, for sure.
And get you to the resources for what you need to know, or the people who can help you with what you need to know. If that makes sense.
Yo, I do have a tough question, and I'm not sure how you could answer it. But do you have a favorite side? Like, is pageantry like your favorite part of your career, or would you say photography has your heart?
I feel as though for the past 3 years, photography definitely had my heart, and it showed, right? So my business grew, clientele grew, and then now I just watched everything flip-flop. And so I think being present, being in the now, I can honestly say that modeling and pageantry is definitely my favorite at the moment.
Now, would you ever let photography go?
No. So I think that comes with mentorship. So off the rip, you would say, "Oh, I can't do both. It's too much," because it really is a lot. But I think it's a chance for me to leverage my business and the foundation that we built. So just now looking into hiring other photographers and videographers to keep our clientele and grow. But now we're putting other people, we're giving other people jobs and putting them in position, and growing a real production company outside of myself and my partner.
Have you both spoken to schools? I think y'all need to have like something even together. Speaking at a segment like high school, some high school students can really like benefit from hearing you both speak. And I think that's something we all need to look into. Like, I'm really proud of us, and I'm so happy that we have you all here, because I think our viewers are very pleased and they're learning so much. So I just wanted to thank you guys again.
No
for joining
problem.
us.
Thanks for having us.
You have
This
a
was
question?
great.
Oh, yes, we need to fix the
I
crown.
don't want it to tilt.
There we go.
There we go.
Y'all see this crown? It's
Yes,
given.
come on.
What's the name?
Miss
Princess of
Maryland.
Genovia.
Mia?
Yeah. Princess, have you seen Princess Diaries?
What? No, I had one a while ago. I don't remember.
Oh my
I don't remember, but I'll go back. I'll go back and watch it. Yeah, I'll go back and watch it because after I won Miss Maryland America, I went and I actually watched Miss Congeniality.
Okay.
Oh, this is so funny. It was very spot on.
So can you guys tell us your favorite moment in the industry that you had right now, or your favorite memory? Just for some inspiration for our viewers.
My favorite moment, I had to switch my mental when it comes to this business because, like I said, at one point it was discouraging when I didn't get like a like or something like that, or I thought something was going to be sold out immediately because how I felt about it. But I had to change my mental with it. So now it's just like I'm just so in love with my business now. It's just like everything is just a favorite to me. Like just my growth, just where I came from, just where I'm going, where I see myself and things like that. And it comes, and just understand, like if you're doing an online business, your people will come. They're going to follow you. They're going to find you. Like they're like, don't think you got to go beyond. You don't have to buy your likes. You don't have to do none of that. When you're genuine and when you're true to yourself, your people are going to find you for sure. So just stay consistent.
I'm going to speak to both industries. So on the photography side, my favorite moment probably was this year when I got a chance to shoot my first birth. I have been wanting to shoot births for like a year. Like I was an actual birth, like the baby coming out. Like that is my dream on the photography side. And the moment was everything that I thought it would be. I almost missed it. I came in, I dropped my bag. Like when I said the baby, she was crowning, the mother was crowning. And I was like all in the action. And when the baby finally came, just to watch the moment between her partner and her with the baby, and she had that I did it moment. Like it was just everything I thought it would be. So that was probably one of my favorite moments recently on the photography side. And on the pageant side, I had an appearance and I was taking photos with all the little girls who were coming up, and it was one little girl who came up to me, and she was basically in tears, and she was kind of just like, oh, this year has been so hard. She was like crying, like almost like crying out to me. And in that moment, I just felt like the need to just take her and hug her. And I was just like, everything is going to be okay. And she was just still so sad. And just the fact that I got that moment to like impact the little girl's life. And I know it kind of like made her day. Maybe it didn't change anything per se, but that just meant the world to me. I was like, wow. And then I was like, you're gonna be okay. I was like, look, I'm gonna give you some of this good energy. I was like, I'm gonna receive it. And she started doing it. She started laughing. Like I got a chance to see her go from crying to laughing because of me. So that was one of the moments that I cherish and I remember when I get to, be in a community. I'm like, people really look up to you, and one smile or one hug or one picture with somebody would just make their whole day. So I enjoyed that part of being Miss Maryland.
That actually led us to our next question. Can you guys give any words of encouragement to the younger generation, like Generation Z? What's the next one? I don't know, but the ones after us.
Don't let social media depict your life or what you think it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Live your life and stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because social media creates this facade of what you think life's supposed to be, but behind closed doors, we don't know what those people are going through, how they got there, the struggles that the tears that they cry, things like that. So like stay true to yourself and don't allow social media to like create this life that you think you're supposed to have.
That was a great when I say great, I think it's so great because this new generation is so involved with social media. Like social media is everything to this generation. I think that that is an amazing answer. And then my motto always though is to not be tied down to what the world or what your maybe your parents or what everybody has planned out for your life. I think we all kind of depend on stability and a 9-to-5, and that's like the American dream. And I'm a firm believer that if you feel as though God has something else for you, then seek Him. He will give you the wisdom, the strategy, the steps, the timing, and pursue that and just stay true to what you feel in your heart, no matter what, no matter who believes you or what you feel like you have or don't have.
Yes, I think that spoke to me when you said timing. The way you put that emphasis, I needed to hear that because I had to come to terms with that my timing is not God's timing, and I'm not always right. I'm not always right with my timing. Like I'm not even graduating within the 4-year span that I thought I was going to graduate. I'm graduating like a semester late, but that was a lot for me to deal with because I thought I was going to be normal and do what I saw as my path and what was meant for me. But it's so easy to get caught up in that mindset. That's why I'm so glad that you mentioned it, because I think we all struggle, whether subconsciously or not, with our own timing. But God has his own timing and a purpose for us that we might not always see. So I really do appreciate you mentioning it.
There's a verse that says, it goes something like, how much more will hasty feet miss the way, or something like that. So oftentimes we'll get really excited when we get an idea, or when you do get that confirmation, like, oh, I'm meant to be doing that. I'm gonna quit right now. I'm gonna just do that. I'm jumping off the cliff. But sometimes you need that confirmation, but then now you need to kind of go back to the room and get the pen and paper and write out the plan first before you take that step. It's just like getting the wisdom now to see the plan through, or the promise through that God already gave you.
Yes. So at what age did you guys see that promise within yourselves? Because I know that, sometimes it's hard for people to find that vision within themselves. And, they always say you're always growing, you're always learning, but it has to be a pivotal moment that you had in your life. And you were like, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. So when did that happen for you both?
I believe my click, I'm going to call it a click, happened when I turned 30. It was almost like a shift because I was very in tune into my spirituality. So I think I was being guided once I turned 30 to where I am now. I just turned 34 Tuesday.
Okay.
It's 34. But no, but I felt like that was initially what it was, and then as the years went on, it just urges of me on my path that I was supposed to take just was like aligning. Whether it was the people in my life, that was the things I was reading, social media and stuff like that. So I believe my pivotal moment took place when God spoke to me clearly. It was at 30. It was like, this is it. Like I had the intention. This is what you need to do for your steps. You know what I'm saying? So I think mine took place when I turned 30.
I think I had multiple aha moments, but I think that a lot of the bigger aha moments came this year when I don't think I really realized the impact or how everybody else viewed me. I didn't see myself that way. I always believed in myself. I was always confident, but I really just didn't see the rulership that God, I think being a ruler is a spiritual gift. And I did have a pastor who said that was one of my gifts, and I'm like, ruler. But now I'm starting to see, and I think little by little he kind of shows me the bigger plan. So I would have never guessed I would be starting a nonprofit around fertility. That's a big thing, and I think little by little, he just says, okay, go do this. But I still don't feel like I've had that big, this is what I need you to do. It's the little by little steps that I feel like he drops in my ear to pursue and to keep moving on the path of that big purpose or mission. Yeah.
I feel like that's okay. That's what some of us need to hear too, because everybody's experience is not going to be the same. Do you have an aha moment yet?
It was recently, just like you said earlier, I found out that I wasn't going to graduate on time. And literally all my friends down my timeline, graduation photos, people talking about all their life they had to fight and all this extra stuff. And I was like, wow, I'm a semester behind. And it crushed me for a while. And I think I'm a little still salty, but I'm realizing that I have to move at my own pace. Not everything is going to happen on the same timeline as like my best friend or my sister. It takes, going to college is hard. It is extremely hard, and it's not for everyone. and I realized that my journey is mine alone. So that's my aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only 21, so I got plenty of years
Yeah,
to get to where I want to be.
yeah. And I feel like to piggyback off of that, we're in a different time. I feel like maybe even 20, 25 years ago, it was like you go to school, you graduate, you get married, you have kids, things like that. Like that's just not. I just
No.
You know what I'm saying? We're in
Yeah.
a different time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying don't go to college, don't get me wrong. School wasn't my thing, honestly. However, but we're in an age now where you don't have to graduate to be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, follow your own path, walk on your own journey and live life. Like you get this thing called like one time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like be your best at it. Do what you need to do at it, and it's okay to fail. Like I think the generation behind us need to understand like it's okay to fail. You're not gonna wake up and be rich or you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case is, like unless you were born that way, of course, but other than that, like, it's okay to grind. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to go to work or whatever the case is, like, just live your life your way. You know what I'm saying?
And don't compare your journey. I think that's what happened. Don't compare your journey, especially. Don't think that you're about to be like Kylie Cosmetics and you grew up here and you're getting it out the mud. Like, there's a difference between someone who's had a little bit more help than you, and help is okay.
Yeah.
There's no shade to the people that have it like that, but like expectations for yourself, and you should have standards, but don't be unrealistic. And I think that's
exactly.
what we lack sometimes. Yeah. And I blame social media for it.
For everything.
Social media. But first, thank you both. Thank you both for joining us.
Absolutely.
For bringing the show to a close.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any quick closing remarks or
give us your socials?
Yes.
If our viewers want to follow you, support.
Yeah. So I can be found on Instagram at _Chapter33Boutique_ and my website is chapter33boutique.com, and that's where the Confident Woman shops.
Hey, confident women.
Okay.
Buy dress.
Buy the whole collection.
You can find me on Instagram at Miss MISS Maryland America 2022. If you find me there, you will also find our business pages in my bio at @richlove_new life, where we shoot weddings, maternity, and births.
Yes.
And then Rich Creatives Media, where we focus on real estate, branding, headshots, and commercials.
Yes. And shout out to the mama over there. Shout out to the partner here.
Yeah.
The big
Support
support
team.
system.
Yes. Oh, wait. One more thing.
Okay.
We are hosting a fundraising event on this Wednesday at Le Fleuve. It's a wedding venue. It's called Tinsels and Tiaras. You have any queens in trainings who would like to get their hair done with tinsels. I'll be hosting a model walk class. We're going to have confidence training, things like that. So you can find that information as well on my Instagram.
And what's the age requirements?
16 and below.
Okay.
16
So I can't come.
It's
It's not 21, but it's all right. Ain't need to be there.
You can still come.
Okay. Yes. Huh?
Not you trying to get a free hair.
I was just trying to figure out if I had to walk,
Okay.
I
Walking like
Air opportunity.
Okay, but I do have a verse for us to close out with, and it says, if you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe with your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. I hope that our viewers learned something. I know that I have taken away some great advice from the both of you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure that we both learned something.
Definitely inspired.
Mhm.
It's really beautiful to see young Black women who are entrepreneurs, business owners, and you guys have such a strong support system, be able to come on our little show and show
Little
love.
show.
I mean,
Big show.
Big show. Nothing is little.
all right, thank you. But we really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules and coming and showing our viewers something a little different.
All right. Yes. Be sure to tune in next time on Young and Bold segment.